Great day, everybody! Welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Toni Braxton is an American R&B vocalist, lyricist, musician, entertainer, and TV character. She has sold more than 70 million records overall and is one of the most outstanding female R&B craftsmen in history. She's won 7 Grammy Awards, 9 Announcement Music Grants, 7 American Music Grants, and various different honors. Toni Braxton is likewise a TV leader and character. She has created and featured in Braxton Family Values, an unscripted TV series that has circulated on WE television since around 2011. She was likewise the chief maker of Tamar and Vince, a side project unscripted television series featuring her more youthful sister Tamar. In 2011, she was drafted into the Georgia Music Corridor of Notoriety in 2017, and she was respected with a Legend Grant at the Spirit Train Music Grants. Toni Braxton's total assets are expected to be $12 million US dollars. Toni Michelle Braxton was brought into the world on October 7, 1967, in Severn, Maryland. Her dad, Michael Conrad Braxton, was a Methodist minister and power organization specialist, and her mom, Evelyn Jackson, a local of South Carolina, was a previous trauma vocalist and beautician, as well as a minister. Her maternal grandfather was likewise a minister. Toni Braxton is the oldest of 6 children. She has a more youthful sibling, Michael Conrad Braxton Jr., who was brought into the world in 1968, and 4 more youthful sisters. Tracy Renee Braxton, who was brought into the world in 1971 and passed away in 2022, Tawanda Chloe Braxton, who was brought into the world in 1973, Trina Yvette Braxton, who was brought into the world in 1974, and Tamara Steen Braxton, who was brought into the world in 1977, were brought up in a severe, strict family, and Toni's most memorable performing experience was singing in her congregational ensemble. She went to Bowie State College to get a showing degree, but was chosen to expertly sing after she was found by William E. Petaway Jr., who supposedly heard her singing to herself while siphoning gas. Toni Braxton is 5 feet, 1 inch, or 1.56 meters tall. In Toni Braxton's individual life, he met performer Carrie Lewis when his mint condition opened for her on a visit. They wed on April 21, 2001. In December 2001, she brought forth their most memorable youngster, a child named Denham Cole Braxton Lewis. In 2002, while preparing for the delivery of her 4th studio collection, Toni found she was pregnant with her 2nd child. The confounded pregnancy restricted her to bed rest for 2 or 3 days. 2nd child Diesel Kai Braxton Lewis was brought into the world in 2003, as Diesel has been determined to have a chemical imbalance. Toni Braxton has become engaged in a chemical imbalance. Talks were filling in as their worldwide representative in her mid-30s, Toni, had an early termination later, finding she was pregnant by then. Carrie Lewis talks in her journal Unbreak My Heart about her fetus removal and culpability, saying that her child Diesel's mental imbalance was God's recompense. In an October 2006 show at the Flamingo, Las Vegas, she separated in tears while declaring to the crowd that not long before the show started, she had been informed that her child Diesel had been determined to have a mental imbalance. Toni is likewise a representative for the American Heart relationship. In November 2009, Toni reported that she and her better half had isolated. The couple later separated in July 2013. On June 2, 2016, the city and province authorities of Atlanta, Georgia, named June 2 as Toni Braxton. In May 2016, Toni was dating rapper Birdman, and the couple reported their commitment to February 2018. In January 2019, the couple canceled the commitment anyway. In April 2019, the two Toni Braxton and rapper Birdman affirmed that they were still attached. On November 18, 2010, Toni Braxton uncovered to CBS News that she had been determined to have foundational lupus erythematosus, or SLA, a possibly perilous immune system illness, while taping her World Series. Braxton Family Values. She went into the emergency clinic for medical procedures in December 2012, and she was hospitalized in Los Angeles in light of the fact that she had minor medical problems connected with lupus about Toni Braxton's vocation. In the last part of the 1980s, Toni Braxton started performing with her sisters in a music bunch known as the Braxtons. The gathering was endorsed by Arista Records in the wake of drawing in the consideration of makers Antonio L. A. Reid and Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, and being endorsed by Lavish Records. Toni Braxton delivered her self-named debut studio collection in 1993. The collection arrived at number 1 on the announcement 200 graph and sold 10 million duplicates overall. Also, the singles Another Miserable Love Melody and Inhale Again became worldwide triumphs. The collection brought Toni 3 Grammy grants, including the Grammy for Best New Craftsman. She experienced progress with the collection's mysteries in 1996, which incorporated the U.S. #1 hit single, You're Making Me High, Let It Stream, and Unbreak My Heart, and The Intensity in 2000, which opened at number 2 on the announcement 200 and incorporated the U.S. #2 hit single, He Wasn't Man Enough. Toni's ensuing studio collections In Excess of a Lady in 2002, Libra in 2005, and Beat in 2010 were delivered in the midst of legally binding questions and medical problems. In 2014, Toni and long-term colleague Babyface delivered a 2-part harmony collection entitled Love, Marriage, and Separation that procured the couple a Grammy grant for Best R&B Collection in 2015. Further marked changes saw the arrival of Sex and Cigarettes in 2018 under Def Jam General and Spell My Name in 2020 under Island. Braxton likewise contended in the 7th season over the Genuine Quality Contest series, hitting the dance floor with the stars about Toni Braxton's liquidation. Furthermore, cash issues notwithstanding every last bit of her business achievement, Toni Braxton has had a long history of cash issues. She originally sought financial protection in 1998 when she was $5 million in the red. Her monetary circumstances gave a few indications of recuperation after she delivered her hit collection in 2000, which proceeded to sell north of 2 million duplicates. Tragically, Toni had to seek financial protection once more in October of 2010. In this recording, Toni purportedly had all around $50 million underwater. She owed cash to many leasers, including the IRS Tiffany, an organization at T and Neiman Marcus, just to give some examples. She apparently burned through $5 million on cosmetics apparel and hair alone in less than 2 years. In July 2013, Toni lost the privileges to 27 of her generally popular tunes, including You're Making Me High, generally the number of ways as a component of her continuous insolvency case. That implies she never again is qualified to get the largest part of sovereignties from the deals of her own music. She likewise doesn't get huge eminences from her greatest hit Unbreak My Heart, since it was really composed by Diane Warren L. Luckily, Toni Braxton is as yet a well-known live demonstration, particularly abroad. She serenely procures between $750,000 and $1 million each year from live shows and individual appearances, including her unscripted TV drama Braxton Family Values at Last, a liquidation. Court cleaned away a decent piece of her obligation, so ideally Toni can keep her funds clean this time around about Toni Braxton's land in the fall of 2014. Toni Braxton purchased a 5,323 square foot home in the Oaks neighborhood of Calabasas, California, for $2.9 million. It was inherent in 2006, and the 4-in-suite room home was viewed as a reasonable home for somebody hoping to move into this agreement neighborhood. She sold it in 2016 for $3.4 million. Toni Braxton just recorded 2 townhouses that she claims have a similar structure, one for $3.35 million, and, what's more, one for $2.85 million. The records show that she purchased the 2 of them in 2018 and found them in the French-themed Le Parc complex, sitting above Hillcrest Nation Club. The 2 units are 2,240 square feet, with 2 rooms each. Toni Braxton claims or has possessed a Mercedes Maybach GLS 604 Matic, a Reach Meanderer game, and a Bentley Bowed Tiger SUV, which was a gift from her boo rapper Birdman. Thank you for watching this video.